Your brain makes most decisions before you're even aware of them. You're not in control as often as you think. That's not a flaw. It's how the mind conserves energy. But it also means you're being influenced constantly without realizing it. Here are 10 psychological principles that are quietly running your life and how to use them instead of being used by them. First, the anchoring effect. The first number you see sets a mental reference point for everything that follows. A shirt marked down from $200 to $80 feels like a deal. But if you'd seen it at $60 first, $80 would feel expensive. Same shirt, different anchor. Fix. Always ask what the original price actually reflects. Anchors are arbitrary. Don't let the first number own you. Second, social proof. When you're uncertain, you look at what other people are doing and treat it as evidence of the right choice. 5-star reviews, crowded restaurants, long lines. Your brain reads all of these as signals. Popularity feels like quality. Fix. Separate what's popular from what's good. Ask why people chose it, not just how many did. Third, the scarcity effect. Limited time. Only 3 left. Ending soon. These phrases don't inform you, they pressure you. Scarcity triggers loss aversion, which is one of the strongest forces in human decision-making. You fear losing the option more than you value the thing itself. Fix. Pause and ask if you'd want this tomorrow if it were available forever. If no, it's urgency talking, not real desire. Fourth, the mere exposure effect. You start to like things simply because you've seen them before. Familiarity gets mistaken for quality. This is why ads repeat. Why a song sounds better the 3rd time. Why you trust a brand you've seen 100 times over one you've never heard of. Fix. Novelty isn't a red flag. Familiarity isn't a green one. Judge the thing on its own terms. Fifth, confirmation bias. Once you believe something, your brain starts collecting evidence that supports it and quietly ignoring what doesn't. It's not stupidity, it's efficiency. The brain doesn't want to reevaluate everything from scratch, so it filters incoming data to match existing beliefs. Fix. Actively look for the strongest version of the opposing view. Not to agree, just to test your own thinking. Sixth, the Dunning-Kruger effect. People with limited knowledge in an area tend to overestimate their competence. Experts tend to underestimate theirs. The less you know what you don't know. Confidence peaks early, dips as you learn more, then rises again slowly with real mastery. Fix. Treat high confidence in a new subject as a warning sign. Curiosity is more useful than certainty at that stage. Seventh, the framing effect. The same fact lands differently depending on how it's presented. 90% survival rate and 10% mortality rate are identical. They don't feel identical. Doctors, marketers, and politicians all know this. The frame shapes the feeling before logic even gets involved. Fix. Restate the information in the opposite frame before deciding. If it changes how you feel, the frame was doing work, not the fact. Eighth, the sunk cost fallacy. You stay in bad situations because of what you've already invested. Time, money, effort, even when leaving is clearly the better move. The past investment is gone either way. It doesn't change the future outcome. But emotionally, walking away feels like waste. So you stay and lose more. Fix. Ask only one question. If you hadn't already invested anything, Would you choose this now? That's the only answer that matters. Ninth, priming. What you encounter just before a decision quietly shapes the decision itself, often without any conscious awareness. In one study, people who held a warm cup of coffee rated strangers as warmer personalities. Physical sensation bled into social judgment. The brain borrows context constantly. Fix. Notice what you've just seen, heard, or felt before an important decision. Your environment is always in the room with you. 10th, the default effect. People overwhelmingly stick with whatever option is pre-selected, even when changing it takes 10 seconds. Organ donation rates differ dramatically between countries, not because of values, but because of defaults. Opt-in versus opt-out changes outcomes more than any campaign ever has. Fix. When a default exists, treat it as a choice someone else made for you. Then decide if you agree with it. These 10 principles aren't obscure. They're running in the background of almost every choice you make: what you buy, who you trust, what you believe. Knowing them doesn't make you immune, but it creates a gap between stimulus and response. And in that gap is where actual thinking happens. Pick one of these today: anchoring, defaults, sunk costs, and watch for it in the next decision you make. That's how this knowledge stops being interesting and starts being useful.